After having been identified as a portrait of a nun, and later as a Virgin Annunciate, on the basis of the non-juvenile age of the Virgin's face, more recently it has been proposed that she is interpreted as a Virgo advocata, a type of Marian image to which the faithful turn to obtain graces. In this iconographic variant, Our Lady is depicted half-length, with her three-quarter-length face turned towards the faithful. She performs the function of advocate between the faithful and Jesus. With her right hand raised and her left hand resting on her breast, she indicates intercession for those who invoke her.
To thee do we cry, poor banished children of Eve. To thee do we send up our sighs, mourning and weeping in this valley of tears. Turn then, most gracious advocate, thine eyes of mercy toward us.
In the Como panel, the detail of the hands is not present. There are two different opinions on the attribution of the panel. The first opinion is that of some scholars, inclined to consider it the first work by Antonello da Messina. Other scholars, however, are inclined to consider it the work of a painter rooted in the figurative culture of Valencia, which at these dates was largely influenced by Flanders painting. The suggestion for Antonello's name is mainly due to the comparison with the Virgin Mary reading in Baltimore, also of dubious attribution. The figure appears wrapped in a heavy dark cloak. The clothing, clearly monastic in character, is marked by the white veil, a symbol of humility, chastity and modesty. The wimple is the strip of cloth that wraps around the neck and wraps around the face, concealing the hair. In this case, it is joined to the gable with the function of framing the face. The cartouche of medieval reminiscence, which identifies her as the Virgin Annunciate, would recall Mary's youth, spent in the temple, in such clothing. The sacredness of the image is emphasized by the abstract golden background. The figure would be linked to a group of Poor Clares painted by the Neapolitan Colantonio, who was the young Antonello's teacher in Naples. Although the inspiration comes from this work, stylistically the figure appears more vigorous and intense. The somewhat frozen posture gives way to a piercing expression, his gaze focused on the observer. The close-set eyes marked by bags, the long face, the small but full lips, and the pointed nose make the character alive, real, present. Refined details can be found along the headdress, its folds, the band that wraps around the cheek, and the transparent veil that almost descends over the eyes. These suggestive features contrast with some more objective observations. Its established provenance from Spain, the use of punches typical of painters active in Valencia in the decoration of the gold background, the sharp and almost frosty execution technique in the optical definition of details, are all aspects that make it plausible that it was executed by a painter of Iberian-Flemish culture.